New York, Los Angeles, London, Paris, Florence, Athens, Disneyland. These are the places I always dreamt about visiting, and I was longing and longing. And I finally, after 1989, visited them. But Lisbon, Portugal? No, it was never on my list. Many years ago, my father went to Portugal through Spain. It was a long trip on a bus, big adventure. He visited Porto, they had some holiday on that day. It was fun, I listened to him, but I never thought I would ever go to Portugal. I didn't think that it would be something I would miss. But when I lived in California, lots of Californians started talking, especially on YouTube, about moving to Portugal. And it became more interesting to me and my family. We were thinking about living binationally, half of the year in Europe, half in California, and Portugal was beginning to look like a place next to Czech Republic, which was the first option, as a place where we might like to live. We planned a trip to Portugal, but the trip was postponed very much because we moved to Czech Republic actually. At that time I was fully adapting to my old new home or new old home, and everything was so different. So it was actually very new to me, and a trip to Portugal felt like, yeah, it will be fun. Maybe a little bit of distraction, but just a holiday abroad in another European country. I didn't expect that much actually. So what is my video actually about? It's about my trip to Portugal, but also about my art inspired by Portugal. This time I want to show you my sketch, my actually second work or artwork inspired by Lisbon. I'm going to show you bits and pieces from the trip, but not everything, because I will leave it for the next video where you will see the final painting. As I said, last year I painted another street of Alfama. It's on my YouTube. I leave a link and you can have a look at it. It was a beautiful place and it came out really well. This new painting is Alfama again, because the place is something like Montmartre of Paris to me. Very picturesque and a perfect place for a cityscape urban artist like I am. As I am reflecting on my trip to Lisbon, Portugal, I must say I didn't expect very much, but it surprised me a lot and in a different way than I expected, and it became a source of a lot of inspiration for my art. I'm going to play time-lapse, comment on it, and also show you bits from our trip, which started in our late-night arrival by Portuguese Airlines from Prague to Lisbon. As I'm watching time-lapse of my own sketch in Procreate, I can identify the stages for you. First, I did a rough sketch based on the golden ratio of 2/3. I prepared a photo in that way before sketching, so that the composition is right. There are too many houses to paint realistically, at least for me, and this was not my goal and never is. The views from our Airbnb were stunning at night and much more in the morning. We were staying in Moreira, the Moorish quarter, right under the castle. The church bells woke us up to great excitement and energy to explore what is around us. I couldn't figure out that strange-looking tower just opposite our windows in the distance. Sketching was, however, tough. I followed from one house to another, holding on to the previous one not to get lost. Still, I got lost and basically went through the whole sketch again, enlarging certain areas on the photo to get some details. The first day, we strolled the streets around our house. We went to a big square with a market, tasted pastel de nata, and walked to main commerce square. Our guide the next day told us that they are all called the same. It started to drizzle and we had to buy some groceries for dinner, so our day was basically over and we went home. Some parts of the sketch are reflecting reality, some are invented because of my imperfections, which I made into perfections, I think. Once I had all shapes of houses, I started adding windows, balconies, and chimneys, and so on. The next day we had a tour with a guide who was fantastic. It wasn't a long tour, but we learned a lot about Portuguese history and the history of the city. We got to that strange tower, and I could even identify our building and windows on the other side of the city. My vision was to make it look whimsical and use my mosaic cutout style. It's coming out as half whimsical and half naive. I'm also showing you that I was so impatient to see some colors that I had to do a color sketch, or rather color splash or random color strokes. It gives me an idea how the colors might work later when I'm working with colors and painting. I loved that there were so many murals and colorful tiles on houses. I took photos of many of them. Street life reminded me a bit of Greece, with its relaxed space and restaurants on every little corner. We stayed in the historical part of the city, and so you had to climb streets and stairs, and there was also a lot of life in the streets at night. And also, it was a holiday. This whole thing took about 4.5 hours, basically one afternoon and evening. I have already started the color, and if you go to my Instagram, you will see the first colorful houses. In my next video, I want to show you the final painting of Alfama. I don't have a name yet. It will take me a while because this is such a detailed painting of all those little streets and houses. So be patient with me. I will post my progress in community posts, so you will see how far I am. Maybe it will be finished next week. As for my clown series, I will continue. It's my plan, but I needed a break. I always cannot stay on one topic or one thing for a long time. I need a change. I'm a restless painter. I like to start new things. Each time a new thing, a new topic, new colors, everything new. Thank you for watching. I'm looking forward to see you again in my next video. But now back to work. I can't wait to start painting again. Bye and happy creating!